Yeah, cozy everybody, because it will continue playing Maidenly Feast. So according to that title, there's some cannibalism, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Wait, so this is so modern. Is it a Silverion house supposed to be all about history and stuff? Generally, yes, but that's mostly kept in rooms that are accessible to visitors. Staff-only rooms were remodeled a few years ago, mostly because it would be impossible to work in a centuries-old kitchen at the speed we are required to in modern times. Did it have to be those fire stoves, the ones you need to make actual fire for? Yeah, dreadful to work with, or so I've been told. My grandmother son was one of those because she refused anything modern, so I had to do my entire maid training with it. It was so painful I used to visit the healer almost daily, at one point because of the burns. You poor child. But that means I'm very good with all the equipment. Miss Robinson, fire stoves have not been used for the past 2 decades. Wait, that can't be. There are still some old furnaces in use all over the country. 20 years ago, there was a kingdom policy to get rid of them, because as you mentioned, they were very prone to injuries. That makes all my qualifications completely useless. What am I going to do? There. Ivy stroked the girl's hair gently, trying to soothe her, but her voice trembled a little as she tried to hide a laugh. Wait, there is music that's coming from this game, right? Yeah, there is music, just really, really low. Just get it. Yep, I can hear it now. Don't laugh, Miss Ivy. The entire career is on the line here. What do? I'm going to be destitute, trained on old machinery that was changed years ago. How did I not know? Why did my grandmother keep those stoves? I'm going to lose my job because I don't know how to use modern kitchens. Ivy really did her best to keep it down, but eventually she burst out laughing. Her voice resonated and made Camellia stop in her tracks. She had such an elegant laugh that her refined features and demeanor. You are very funny, Camellia. I'm very serious here. What am I going to do now? I hired you knowing this was your first job, so there was an expectation that you would need to be trained, and also, you'll be working as a maid, not a cook, so you won't need to use most of the equipment. Miss Ivy, thank you. There. The head maid stroked her head again. Come on, there's still so much we need to go through. Yeah. Through this door we could get the second kitchen. This is one we all use daily. Obviously, due to the stoves, I am not expecting you to prepare tea until you are fully trained. During most days, there's only one cook, Gerald. Well, where is he? That's odd. He hardly goes anywhere else. Maybe he went to the bathroom? Probably, but... She made a long pause and started looking around, and in doing that, she made some noise as she opened some adjacent doors. Suddenly, a voice came from inside the fridge. Ivy, is that you? Open the fridge, I got stuck. Oh, creator's sake. Ivy rushed to the door. It was a large double door that went all the way to the roof. It looked heavy and made of metal. Camilla walked towards her, fearing that she wouldn't be able to open it alone. Probably she wouldn't either, but the head maid opened it with such ease that she froze. Creators, I thought I would die or something. A large bear man came out of the fridge with the tips of the fur around his face covered in ice. It stuck to it, making him look like a brownie with frosting. Camille had never seen a beast man before, let alone one of his size, so she asked if he's okay. Thank you, Ivy. I thought I was done for. What happened? How long have you been there? All night, can you believe it? That's awful. Are you okay, sir? Do you need help preparing a warm bath? The beastman looked at her a bit perplexed for a second, just like Ivy. He seemed to be expecting something different. There's no need. All this muscle keeps me warm. Then he proceeded to flex, earning a scowling look from Ivy. He laughed when he saw her face. Did you see who did it? I'm sure it was an accident. There's no need. Gerald, the latch was broken from the outside. Maybe something fell on it and broke it. There's no need to cause a scene over it. Ivy sighed, clearly annoyed, but it did her best to keep her composure. Wait, there you go. Fine, it was an accident, but I'm telling Mr. Silvera, it can't happen again. We need to take real measures so accidents don't happen. Yeah. There was tension in the air, but Camilla didn't seem to understand why, really. The both of them seemed to have shared a understanding of something she wasn't aware of. She looked at them, trying to decipher what the entire conversation was truly about, but it eluded her. By the time she gave up, they were done talking. Well, I need to shower now. Good luck with everything. Well then, I'm going to prepare the tea, and you'll help me. I won't touch the stoves today. Now, go to the storage and bring the tea set for the oldest son, Sabrina, and Mrs. Silveridon. Yes, ma'am. And with that, she hurried to the door right next to the walk-in fridge. But instead of a storage room, she found herself facing a small pantry. Ivy chuckled. The second door to your right. Inside, there was a wall with a cabinet filled with lots of different colored cutlery. She stood there looking for the different sets and she grabbed. What were we going to do? Make tea? Oh crap, this is the part where we need, we should have remembered, but the stuff, maybe history will be kind to us. Let's see. The rain hit, etc. So I read in history that lilac set was for Sabrina. The gray off-white set is for the what is she called? Eldest son, and Miss Silverian is okay with any tea set. It comes in a faded pattern of lavender flowers, and then off-white shirt. One of the cups in particular had a stained mark on the side that perfectly fit human lips. Another is a blue set with flowers. I don't know. I didn't find anything about blue, so let's just go with blue set with flowers or something. Look for brand new. Oh wait, no, not brand new. Blue set with waves. Wait, I was correct with the blue set. Brand new, pattern, no fading, like it's seen a little use. Fantastic. I knew you would be a quick learner. Well, you gotta thank the save points for that, and my ability to turn back time in this game. And I proceeded to start the stove. With every step she took, she slowly explained things to Camellia. The process probably made a simple, quick task last far longer than it should have. She suddenly felt guilty about it. To make the headmaids work harder than necessary was not something she enjoyed, but spending time with her was refreshing. Her voice was smooth and she kindly explained all the things Camellia didn't know, never making her feel bad for what she didn't know. Tea smells good. What is it? It's just an Earl Grey tea. I can make some for you later if you want. I don't want to bother you. You are too polite. Why don't I prepare it with some dessert after dinner, just for you? I would love that. Now be a dear and please return to the dorm while I finish with this. Afterward, I'll continue with the evening chores with you, okay? Yes, Miss Ivy. With that said, both quietly walked in their respective directions. Camellia, still unused to the long unfamiliar hallways, made enough wrong turns to become lost quite quickly. She was sure she remembered those paintings, but apparently not well enough. She looked around in the hopes of finding someone who could help her. Excuse me, miss. Camellia was glad to see one of the maids she had met before. She recognized her updo immediately, but couldn't quite place her yet. Oh, why are you here? I'm so sorry, I'm just a little lost, and I was wondering if you could point me to the dorms. Really? What is that rabbit even doing? She can't even do anything right. Come with me, I'll help you with the training, since she can't do anything right. Oh, there's no need, miss. My training has been going just fine. How far can it really be when you're here lost? I mean, she is a beast. What is anyone expecting of her? Beast? Why would you call Miss Ivy that? Come with me, I'll show you the right way of doing things. There's no need, miss. I just remembered my way back, so I'll get going. Suddenly, the woman grabbed Camellia by the arm and started pulling pretty hard. Miss, my training is going just fine. I wouldn't want to trouble you any further. Nonsense, there's no way that one can provide appropriate training. She should have never gotten that promotion. Miss, really? The strange woman kept pulling Camellia by her wrist as she tried to stop her, but she didn't budge. She started using more and more strength, causing Camellia some pain. She tried to pull away, but the woman was clearly stronger than her, and it hurt. You're hurting me. Nonsense. Camellia was internally screaming. What did she even mean? She kept trying to pull away, but it was futile. Suddenly, a voice she recognized came through. Hello there, ladies. Where are you going? Can I join? He stepped in front of the woman, forcing her to stop. She grumbled audibly as she had to look up to meet the man's gaze. She was smiling brightly, while she on the other hand had a scowl so deep in her that it seemed to... He was smiling brightly, while she, on the other hand, had a scowl so deep that it seemed her eyebrows would stay that way forever. I'm in charge of training the new girl. Now move. I'd hate to interrupt, but Mrs. Silverian wanted to meet the new girl. Would you mind letting her to me? Really, the missus wants to meet the staff? You know how she is. Fine, I'll check on her later. With that, she finally let go of Camellia's arm and walked away without saying anything. Then Gerald put her hand on Camellia's shoulder and pushed her to walk in the opposite direction at a fast pace. Once they were far away enough, and sure they were out of earshot, they finally stopped. What is her problem? Do you want the entire list or just a summary? A summary. Well, Ivy and she were the only ones with enough seniority to become head maid after Mrs. Heller retired. As you could guess, Ivy got the promotion. She's been salty ever since. Nobody calls someone beast just because they're salty. What is her problem? Ivy's not a beast. She is a proper lady. Gerald looked at her with that confused expression again and ruffled her hair. Undoing her buns, she batted his arms away and they started play fighting a little. In the distant high heels could be heard. Gerald looked in the direction and called, Ivy. Curious, what are you two up to? Nothing bad, I hope. I rescued your girl from you know who. She is clearly not over it. She was super mean. That woman, I swear she's going to get herself fired and then blame me for it. If she tries to pull something, we'll be on your side. And it's not like she could do anything. The missus is fed up with her and is probably waiting for a proper reason to fire her already. We shall wait and see. Mind coming with me, Camellia? Yes, ma'am. Camellia waved to Gerald before she and Ivy started walking down a long hallway to their next assignment. At first it was quiet and only Ivy's heels rhythmically resonated throughout. What about the tea that you prepared? Finally they arrived at the laundry room and things were finally looking up for Camellia. Unlike the fire stove, she did not know how to use most of the equipment. There were little explanations the head maid needed to give, and soon both of them were working. Camellia was still thinking about the woman from before and her mean words. There were many things she wanted to do, but she wasn't sure how to express them. Miss Ivy? Yeah? The maid from before was being really mean. There's no need to worry, she's been like that for a while. But still, it can't be helped, you shouldn't. It's wrong, she called you a beast, that's wrong. I'm not saying she should be punished, but I don't know, something. There was a pause that made her question if she had overstepped greatly, but then suddenly Ivy burst out laughing really loudly. Camellia, you are a funny girl. She kept laughing and she pressed the girl to her chest, petting her back. Camellia, feeling her breast against her face, turned completely red and started blubbering nonsense. It took a while for the head maid to stop laughing and finally letting her go. I was being serious, Miss Ivy. Oh, sweet child mine. Sweet child. Mine and Gerald's beasts are called Beastborn. We are the children of the beast and the new gods granted freedom to. Harriet probably meant it with some malice and she hates me, but it is the correct term, albeit a bit dated. But you're not a beast, you're a beautiful woman. You've been so kind to me, there's no way you are a beast. I mean, the ears say different otherwise, but sure, why not? Why to say something but I was scared? You shouldn't go around saying awful things like that. You're so cute I could eat you up. I understand your apprehension over the word. It is quite aggressive in human culture. It is what I am. I'm not ashamed of my heritage, as much as Harriet would want me to be. Listen, why don't I prepare you some sweets for dessert? To get your mind off of that mean woman, how about some Camellia cupcakes? Don't worry so much. It's your first day and you did great. You can celebrate. Miss Ivy, this meat is delicious. I've never eaten something so good before. I'm so glad to hear that. It's my special meat dish. You're so talented. You'd be a great wife. I'd be so jealous for your future husband. Only a husband and not a wife? One of Ivy's feet slowly went up and down the girl's shin. What the f... Refusing to break eye contact, Camellia turned completely red and started shoveling food into her mouth to avoid the embarrassment, but she choked instead. I'm sorry, I was just playing. She got up and ran to Camellia's side to help her. You are just so cute, I couldn't contain myself. I'm very sorry. No, I was cough. There, try drinking some water. No, there you go. As a wife. I think I'd also be a great wife. I can't cook you as well as you, but once I learn how to use the modern stoves, I'll make something for you instead. I'll look forward to it then. One of Ivy's twitched. What? One of Ivy's twitched? What do you mean one of Ivy's twitched? Ears? Seems like the rain finally stopped. Wait, how do you know that? There are no windows here. Ivy just winked at her. Come on, let's go back to the dorms. Morning came and the sun rose without any clouds obstructing its view. The birds sang their cheerful song and immediately the room became bustling with chatter as the women got ready for their day. Once Camellia came out of her room, she was ambushed by a gaggle of maids who talked over each other. Camellia, we didn't see you last night. Where were you? Sneaking around already? No, I was. Don't bully the new kid. We want to prepare a welcoming party for you. Are you allergic to anything? You ruined the surprise. What if we get her something she can't eat? She'll think we are savages. I'm not. I don't have allergies, but you don't have to prepare anything for me. Nonsense. We want to welcome you properly. Morning, ladies. All the ladies immediately rushed to their positions and quieted down. Here is today's schedule. Camellia will shadow me for the day, as well as her training is still ongoing. Yes, ma'am. A few of the maids looked at her weird. She now felt like the glare of Harriet in the distance. She wasn't sure again what she was doing wrong. Now, look at the counter. I prepared some cups. I want you to tell me which family member takes which. Gray cup. Oldest son. That's correct. Black cup. Was there a black cup? I don't remember that. That's correct? Really? Lilac set. Daughter. That's correct. Now take these and we'll continue with the training later. Wait for me here. The handmaid left with a food trolley with an assortment of sweets next to the different colored teacups. How is your training going, you girl? Camilla jumped when the beastman called her name. She hadn't heard him coming at all. You scared me. He laughed brightly. Sorry, I wasn't trying to. Are you settling in well? I guess I've been here barely a day. Fair? Are the other girls being nice to you? Harriet can be a lot, but you are a human, so shouldn't be a problem to you. Miss Ivy told me not to worry about it, but how could she be so mean? I don't get it. She never liked Beastborn in general, but wow, it got so much worse after Ivy got promoted. She used to at least ignore us, but now she goes out of her way to be mean. Still, this isn't something you should worry about. We are all used to it. But that's wrong. She shouldn't go around calling other bad names. It's technically the correct name for us. It's like going around calling me, hey human, hey humans. She makes it sound like a bad word, like it's supposed to mean something bad. Could be worse. Could be better. This made the beastman laugh, and again he ruffled her hair. This time she stopped him, and again they started play fighting like a much older sibling bothering the younger one. They were both laughing. I have to get back to work. See you at your welcome surprise party. It's not a surprise. Just act shocked or something. Ivy soon returned, and their day continued as normal. She guided her through what would be her daily task once her training ended. Camilla listened and tried her best to memorize all the important details of work in such a prestigious place, but she found herself often lost in thoughts about the day before. There was no moment where she felt like she could bring it up again, so she kept her thoughts to herself, but before she knew it, the day has come to an end. Then the sun was settling on the horizon. Setting. Creators, it's so late already. So creators like, instead of Jesus, it's so late. No, it's more the creators, it's so late already. Forgive me, I was so focused on work, I nearly forgot about your surprise. There's no need for the party. Just follow me, I promise you'll like it. Once they left for the black garden, the warm sun seeped through the trees, carefully illuminating the place. It was far enough from the mansion that the bustling of the day-to-day activities could be barely heard. Ivy grabbed a big picnic basket and immediately started preparing everything perfectly for them to lay on the grass and enjoy some homemade sweets. Did you prepare all this just for me? Of course, you deserve a nice welcome celebration. Let's just enjoy the moment. Camilla internally wondered about the party the others had been talking about all day, but ultimately decided against it and enjoyed the moment. Ivy was a beautiful woman, and she was thankful she was able to spend any time with her. I prepared some strawberry cream sandwiches, but maybe I should have asked you if you liked them, and strawberry cream sandwiches, those are my favorite sweets in the world. Camilla took an eager bite. This is delicious. Miss Ivy, you are an amazing baker. Your meals are so super. You are also proper lady as well as a talented maid. Is there anything you can't do? You flatter me, but I'm just a regular person just like you except for the ears. No way, I've never seen such an amazing strawberry cream sandwiches before, and trust me, I've eaten lots of them. Camilla ate a few more sandwiches. Look at me. Ivy, with a handkerchief, she cleaned the cream off of Camilla's nose. All clean now. Oh, thank you. Camilla sat there completely red, embarrassed out of her mind as Ivy moved on and started eating somewhere else, clearly leaving the strawberry cream sandwiches alone. She remembered the dream she had the night she arrived at the manor, and now it unexpectedly came to life, a dream that felt so unattainable then, now at arm's length. She looked at Ivy as she elegantly ate the frilly cake, and wondered if something could blossom between them, and she couldn't help but hope for more. "Miss Ivy," she accidentally yelled, I think you are an amazing woman, beautiful and talented. Harriet has no business being so mean to you, and next time I want to tell her what I think, if you're okay with it." Ivy was quiet for a second, her eyes wide open, surprised at Camelia's sudden outburst. "Oh, Camelia." When she said her name, it sounded like honey on her lips, and Camelia could get lost in them. "I told you, I want to do it anyway. I don't want to cause any more trouble, but I also heard being mean to other girls, and I don't want to overstep, but I also want to tell her to stop. She shouldn't be nice to you when you work so hard." And what? "I also want to tell her to stop. She shouldn't be nice to you." Stop. She shouldn't be nice to you when you work so hard. She should be nice to you when you work so hard. There you go. I was confused. Ivy interrupted Camilla's rant with a just kiss on the lips, and rendering her completely mute for a second. Her face turned beet red, and she immediately started blabbering something without making any coherent sense. "Thank you," she whispered close to her lips, their noses almost touching. "Nobody's offered something so sweet before. Thank you, really." Camelia, still unable to respond, just nodded her head. They continued their picnic even after the sun had completely set, sitting in the darkness only illuminated by the moon and a few lights from the manor visible in the distance. "Craters, it's gotten so late, we should get back." They packed everything back into the basket and returned to the manor's kill, chatting gingerly. Once they arrived back at the manor, a small party was waiting for them. The balloon seemed a bit deflated by this point, as some of the food had already been picked. All of the staff members eagerly congratulated Camelia and welcomed her with open arms. Calling it a party might have been a bit of exaggeration. There was no music, just a sound of chatter and some snacks alongside actual food. "So, how's the party girl doing? Took you long enough to come." "Sorry, She stopped herself mid-sentence. She wasn't sure if she wanted to tell the truth or not. "Let's half-lie. Ivy and I were just busy with the training." "How strict, working so late after your shift." "We are super diligent. Remember to rest every now and then." "Hey, Ivy, your new recruit is very hard-working. Mind if I steal her to help me with the kitchen?" He was clearly joking as he again reached out to ruffle Camilla's hair. A hand stopped him abruptly. Her grip was too strong for such delicate hands. "Ow, that hurts. No need to get like that. I was just playing." Camilla caught a glance of Ivy's cold eyes, and it sent a chill down her spine. She was frozen long after she had let go of Gerald's hand, and they had started talking about something else. The mood between them hadn't changed at all. It was still painful, and yet she couldn't get her mind out of those terrifying eyes. She stood there until someone called her name. "Camelia, come here." One of the national maids called out, removing her from her trance. "Coming." "Yeah?" "Here, we prepared some cake for you. We didn't know which one you liked, so we took a gamble. You're so kind, but there was no need, Nonsense, we made this cake just for you. Now enjoy it before the guys over there eat it." She shot a glance at the other two men chatting over a giant pile of food they were almost inhaling. "I've never seen anyone eat so much before. We had to rescue your cake before they got to it." Camilla looked at the one-person cake and smiled. It was the same pink as her hair, and her name was spelled correctly in a darker shade of pink frosting. She took a spoonful. Despite not being as tasteful as Ivy's cooking, it was delicious. She smiled brightly at the other girls. Soon they were all chatting like old friends who had known each other their entire lives. The other girls welcomed Camilla and even explained some of their inside jokes so she wouldn't be out of the loop. Looking back, she wished she had paid more attention to that night. Maybe, just maybe, she would have avoided the tragedy that followed mere hours later. If she had been more careful, maybe it wouldn't have happened. What are you talking about? The party came to an end a little after midnight. Everyone still had to get up early the next day, so they knew celebrations had to be cut short. Camilla was in such high spirits, chatting with her new friends, that the moment her head hit the pillow, she fell asleep immediately and would just stay that way until the next day if it wasn't for the sudden pain in her belly. It was short but brief. It woke her up from her slumber at 3:15. The entire manor was engulfed in darkness and silence, but she didn't care. The pain was intolerable. She crawled into a fetal position until it was gone, yet it left some lingering discomfort afterward. Too focused on the pain and reaching the bathroom, she didn't turn on any lights as she walked blindly around the maid's dorm room. With a hand on the wall to keep her balance, she found herself bent at the knees on the floor in excruciating pain once again. It was so intense that it was hard to breathe. It felt like her insides were twisting in unnatural positions. Once it subsided a lull, she got up again and more urgently tried looking for the bathroom. She tried the common bathroom in the basement, but for some reason it was locked. She thought only for a moment to bang on the door, but she couldn't muster the strength to do so. The stairs of the main hall at the moment felt like an insurmountable task, but she powered through it. Once she reached the top, the moon gently illuminated the hallway. It was an eerily quiet night, too quiet, but she wasn't able to think anything beyond the growing pain that once again brought her to her knees. This time she threw up. The thick liquid burnt all the way out of her throat as she coughed. It was dark, but everything was dark at night. Sadly, throwing up didn't make her feel any better. On the contrary, her stomach grumbled and the pain came in pulses, each one stronger than the last. She crawled on the floor for what felt like an eternity, waiting for the pain to subside enough to let her walk again. She begged the gods for anyone to wake up and help her, but it was such a quiet night that her hopes were low. Help! She tried to scream, but her body was so weak it came out like a whimper. Trying to focus on her eyes, the pair of legs that were walking in her direction, and she thought she could recognize them for a moment, but she also recognized something else. A cleaver, a dirt cleaver, dripping on the flood. Dripping on the flood? What? The manor's flooded? What? Dripping on you mean dripping on the floor, right? Each drop made a small sound as it hit the tiles. Yeah, it's floor, I think. Unless flood is another name for tile or ground, whatever. Oh, goddamn rich people in their English language. She wondered who would be so careless to do such a thing, but before she could, the figure had reached out to her. Looks like the little lamb made a mess. Her normally honeyed voice sounded sickly sweet, and she almost sang the words. Her face was engulfed in darkness, so she couldn't see her face. I mean, why even hide who that person is? You already saw the name Ivy. The metal of the cleaver shined under the moonlight, and the reflection hit her eyes almost on purpose, like she was twisting the knife around so the reflection would hurt her eyes. Ivy? She called her name incredulously for a moment. Yes, darling. She didn't know what to think, and her eyes adjusted to the darkness. She was finally able to see the blood. It covered everything. Her shoes, her stockings, her skirt, the cleaver, her uniform seemed to be covered in blood splatters. I think I'm sick. She said, trying to best to pretend her eyes were fooling her, or that this was all but a nightmare, but the pain brought her back from her wishful thinking. This time she screamed. It was agonizing beyond any pain she had felt before. She threw up again. This time she saw it was blood. Blood poured out of her mouth. This. Everyone is so dirty today. It's so late at night, and everyone is so messy. In the darkness, she saw her sharp teeth glisten under the light. They were sharp like canines, and her smile was too open and her eyes too wide. Camille felt an indescribable fear at that moment. Indescribable fear at that moment. Then she sat on the floor, pouring her insides out, and she had never felt so vulnerable and weak before. What do you mean, everyone? She sheepishly asked, hoping, wishing, praying that this was all a misunderstanding. She was probably up at night cooking something nice, and others from the party were as sick as her. Yeah, that had to be it. She was nursing the others as they were throwing up, making a mess. It had to be that. But Ivy didn't respond. Instead, she lifted the cleaver high in the air. With only adrenaline running through her veins now, Camilla moved out of the way, barely in time to dodge the weapon. The ceramic tiles cracked under its enormous strength. A part of the knife got stuck in the floor, and it was Camilla's only chance to run. With the little strength she had left, she bolted into the opposite direction, urging her feet to run as fast as they could possibly take her. Run all you want, but you can't escape. The woman yelling became distant as she ran. Suddenly a sharp pain in the sole of her feet almost made her stop, but she didn't have that luxury, so she kept on running. She closed the door behind herself and fell to the ground immediately as the pain reared its ugly head again. She held her belly, tried to soothe the pain, but nothing seemed to work. She sat on the floor with her back pressed against her, breathing heavily. She took a long look at her feet. They were bleeding and covered in glass shards. Ew. Creators, what the? She's trying to get a closer look, but bending like that will only cause more pain, forcing her to throw up once again. She was covered in her own blood, sitting on the cold kitchen floor, running away from the woman she had kissed that same afternoon. She tried to rest for a moment to regain her strength and find a way to leave the situation, whatever it was. Then she smelled it. It was a slightly sweet smell of cooked meat with honey and vinegar. I freaked out over nothing. She tried soothing her own thoughts. Of course, it was just cooking, that's why she had a cleaver. A little messy, but if everyone was sick, maybe she was just stressed. With great difficulty, she got up and stumbled all the way to the oven. The meat can't be steak, maybe it's buffalo. I can't wait to eat more of Ivy's. She opened the oven, and the sweet smell of honey blinded her to the horrors of its contents. It was hard to see in the darkness, so instead she turned on the oven light, just like she was taught, and immediately fell to her butt in horror. Among all the nearly cut vegetables was a head, eyes, and skin removed with something white inside its mouth. She wished she couldn't recognize it. She really wished that missing all its fur and skin would make it unrecognizable. Maybe it would make the horror less daunting, but no. She didn't know how, but she knew. Somehow she knew. It was Gerald. She felt the few contents left on her stomach whelped her throat, and the sweet scent was not helping her keep it all down. So this is what the maids do in the manor? Man, this is extreme. It's like a battle royale for maids. Suddenly the kitchen door burst open and Ivy came strolling in carrying something heavy on the opposite hand to the cleaver. Whatever it was male, a loud thud as she dropped it on the floor. What do you think of my main dish? I always wanted to taste bear meat. What in the creator's name is wrong with you? Weren't you two friends? What are you doing? I'm making tomorrow's lunch. You know how long preparations take. Why did you kill him? I wonder why. She approached Camille. She tried to back away, but there was nowhere to go. The kitchen had only one door that led to the outside. Once again, her stomach demanded her attention, and she fell to her knees. She fell to her knees in agonizing pain. Ivy closed the distance between them and stomped Tom, looking down at her. What the fuck is your problem? My problem? You're asking my problem? What makes you think you can let that runt touch you? I wanted to kill him right there. What is that, eh? You killed him because of that? I killed everyone. They had no right to get so friendly around you. I couldn't let them live after that. What the fuck is wrong with you? She turned screaming, but her throat was still sore from throwing up. Ivy rose to cleave again in the air, ready to swing. Camilla tried her best to move, but her body was too tired to obey. There was a sharp pain, and suddenly everything turned dark. Ending C. Alrighty then. Let's see. How many endings can we have? Let me just check. I think I remember it having only one ending. There you go. It says so right here in the features. Over 12,000 words, estimated 30 minutes of gameplay, one ending, 3 endings in the future. Okay, so we got one ending, so that's about it. So yeah, 3 endings in the future. So we only got one. So yeah, we're done with this game. What was it called? Maidenly Feast. Maidenly Feast. There you go. So the nice maid was a cannibal all along, only because he got jealous because we got touched by other people, like being taught as played around like siblings and stuff. Like no one's allowed to have fun with you. Whatever. This is Maidenly Feast. If you want to try to get for yourself, the links in the description. Yeah, sure, I'll play everything. I'll get all endings if it ever comes out. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.